I came into this life on a cold rainy night in a tiny village where mud clung to everything and hope felt like a distant rumor. My mother labored for hours in a dark room with only a dim lantern and the midwife who kept muttering prayers under her breath. When I finally cried out, my father stood at the doorway, looked at me once small, wrinkled red, and turned away. His shoulders slumped as if the weight of another daughter had crushed something inside him. They had waited for a son, prayed for a son, named him in their minds long before I arrived, but I was Rimsha, just Rimsha, another girl, another disappointment. My earliest memories are not soft or warm, they are sharp like thorns. My father never held me, never spoke my name with pride. He would sit in the courtyard staring at nothing, smoking his hookah, exhaling clouds of smoke that seemed to carry all his unspoken anger. My mother tried, she would cradle me, whisper that I was her heart, her John, her little moon, but even her arms felt tense as if loving me too openly might anger him more. The taunts started early, not cruel words shouted in rage, but quiet everyday reminders that sliced deeper. Uncles would visit and sigh, beta hoda to gar ka chirag hoda, beta hoda to hum sab ki kismat chamak ufti. Aunts would pat my head and say chalo koibat nahi ala ni jo dia wohi thik hai, but their eyes said otherwise. Children in the street ran after me chanting, girl, girl, useless girl. I learned to shrink myself, to walk with my head down, to speak only when spoken to disappear into the background like smoke no one notices until it stings their eyes. School became my secret world. There I could pretend I mattered. I sat at the front, memorized every lesson, wrote essays that teachers praised. I dreamed of becoming a doctor or a teacher, someone who could change things, someone whose father might finally look at her and smile. But that dream stayed locked inside because at home dreams were luxuries we could not afford. When I was 14, my younger sister Amna was born, another girl. My father stopped eating at the table with us for weeks. He blamed my mother as if she had personally denied him a son. My mother grew quieter, her laughter disappeared, her eyes became hollow. She stopped braiding my hair, stopped telling stories at night. She just worked, cooked, cleaned, prayed, and endured. When I turned 17, the marriage talks began. My father said, it is time, this house cannot feed so many mouths. My uncles brought proposals, men older than my father, men with children from previous marriages, men who wanted a young wife to serve them. One name kept coming up, Farouk, a man from a nearby town, 36 years old, worked as a mechanic, had a small house and a bad temper. My father liked him because Farouk promised to take me far away to the city where no one knew our family's shame. I begged my mother, Ammi, please no, I will study, I will work, I will never ask for anything, just don't marry me off. She held my face in her rough hands, tears in her eyes, and whispered, beta, this is a woman's fate, sabar karo. Allah will make it easy. The nikah happened on a gray afternoon, no music, no mendi, no joy, just a few relatives, some dry sweets, and a qazi who rushed through the words as if late for another appointment. Farouk signed the papers, barely glanced at me, and that was it. I belonged to him now. We moved to his house in the city, 2 cramped rooms with cracked walls and a tin roof that leaked in the rain. His mother lived there too, an old woman with sharp eyes and a sharper tongue. She hated me from the first day, said I was too educated, too proud, too useless. She made me wake before dawn, scrub floors, wash clothes by hand, cook for 6 people even though there were only 4 of us. She beat me with a thin stick when the curry was too spicy, when the roti was not round enough, when I dared to rest for a moment. Farouk came home every evening, tired, angry, smelling of oil and cheap liquor. If dinner was late, he slapped me. If his shirt was not ironed perfectly, he kicked me. If his mother complained, he hit harder. You are my curse, he would say, you brought this bad luck into my life. I curled into a ball, took the blows, learned to stop crying because tears only made him angrier. I learned to cover bruises with long dupattas, to smile at neighbors, to say alhamdulillah when they asked how I was. Inside I was dying slowly, piece by piece. Then Sana came, my first daughter, small, perfect, beautiful. I held her and felt something crack open inside me, love so fierce it hurt. My mother-in-law looked at her and sneered, another girl, only girls, no use. Farouk stopped speaking to me for days, said you cannot even give me a son, what kind of wife are you? 2 years later Zara was born, same story, same anger, same beatings. I protected my girls as best I could, sang to them at night, told them stories of brave princesses who saved themselves, whispered that they were enough just as they were. But fear lived in our house like another family member. Every time Farouk raised his hand, I stepped in front of them, took the blows so they would not have to. Every time his mother called them burdens, I hugged them tighter, told them Ammi loves you more than anything in this world. Years blurred into one long nightmare. My body hurt all the time, back aching from endless work, hands cracked from harsh soap, heart heavy from silent sobs. I thought of running away every single day, planned it in my mind while sweeping the floor, while washing dishes, while rocking my daughters to sleep. But where would I go? With 2 little girls, no money, no family, my parents had forgotten me the day I left their house. They never called, never visited, never asked if I was still breathing. One night after the worst beating yet, Farouk had come home drunk, angrier than usual. He accused me of looking at another man, though I had not left the house in weeks. He punched me in the stomach, kicked me when I fell, my lip split, blood on the floor, my eyes swelled shut, ribs screaming with every breath. His mother stood in the doorway laughing, said, "Absik lo is it Karna?" Farouk left for work the next morning as if nothing had happened. I lay there staring at the ceiling, feeling nothing and everything at once, and in that moment something inside me broke free, not with a scream but with quiet, cold certainty. I could not let my daughters grow up believing this was love. I could not let them think being a girl meant pain. I could not let them become me. That night, when the house was dark and silent, I wrapped Sana and Zara in their only good shawls, took the small tin box where I had hidden money from selling homemade achar secretly for months, took my old school certificate, the one thing that proved I had once been someone, took my mother's single gold bangle, the only piece of her I still had. I did not wear shoes because they would make noise. I carried my girls, one in each arm, walked out the door into the night, cold air hitting my face like freedom and fear mixed together. I walked for hours, legs shaking, breath ragged, until the city sounds faded and dawn began to break. A truck driver saw me on the road, a woman with 2 sleeping children, bruises on her face. He stopped, asked no questions, just said, "Get in, Beta, I will take you somewhere safe." He dropped us at a small town far from everything. I found a women's shelter run by a woman named Rubina. She had kind eyes and tired hands. She listened to my whole story without interrupting, without judging, gave us a room, food, clothes, and most importantly, safety. She helped me enroll my girls in a free school, helped me get a job teaching basic Urdu and math to young children in a tiny madrasa. It paid little, but it was mine, earned with my own hands. For the first time in years I felt useful, I felt alive. Sana and Zara laughed again, played, ran around, called me Ammi with real joy, not whispered fear. I still wake up at night, heart pounding, checking the door is locked, still flinch at loud voices, still look behind me when walking alone, but I am breathing free. I am raising my daughters to know they are worthy, strong, beautiful, not burdens, not curses, not mistakes. I tell them every day, you are enough just as Allah made you. I tell them never let anyone dim your light, never let anyone tell you your worth depends on being a boy or giving a son. I tell them Ammi was broken once, but Ammi fought back, and so can you. This is my story, my pain, my survival, my quiet rebellion. I am Rimsha, mother, sister, daughter, survivor, and I am still here, still hoping, still loving, still breathing, and that is enough.